Hey, hey guys, so doing a little mini cast here, just sitting in my car. I was kind of bored. Um, I have been looking at some stuff in the news, the gaming news lately, and a lot of people are angry at Sony. Like, a lot of people are angry at Sony, so I want to talk very briefly about it. May not be as long as the other video where I ranted. I want to kind of be a little more focused this time, but I don't have notes, so I guess I'm just gonna try to force myself to be focused. So as you probably noticed from the title of the video, and you might hear some cars waving, like going by. I'm in like the grocery store, of like the parking lot of a grocery store. So I'm about to go in, but I want to kind of address this really quickly. Video is probably gonna make a lot of people mad, which is fine. That's totally fine. So here's what I think. I don't think Sony is any more anti-consumer than Nintendo or Microsoft. What I think it is and this is the reason why, and this is obvious, and the reason why Sony is basically not giving us a solid answer. They haven't given us a solid answer as to why they won't allow cross-play. That's the big thing that's going on. They won't give us a solid answer. They just basically have been saying, hey, this is this is how it is. We think PlayStation 4 is the best way to play. At first they tried to, play it off like it was about the kids, and they don't think the other networks are safe, which is, total crap. But anyway, not to get off topic here. The reason I don't think that is because I don't think any of these companies are really so much pro-consumer like Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony. Is basically they're pro-consumer until profit is concerned. Then they try to push the limits of how much anti-consumerism they can do without actually pissing people off. So to give an example of that, there's been plenty of times like Nintendo before. So at the very start of this generation, Microsoft released the Xbox One, and everyone knows this. This is why they're not in the first place. They released the Xbox One. Well, not in first place, but why they're only sold half the units of the Sony, of the PlayStation 4. They released the Xbox One. It had all this DRM nonsense. People hated it, and even though they took it out, they made such a big deal about it and was like, oh no, it's not just as easy as flipping a switch and blah blah blah, yada yada. They made such a big deal about it that people didn't trust them, so everyone navigated towards the PlayStation. That's obvious, everyone knows that. Sometime after that, Nintendo, decided that, hey, we hate people playing games on YouTube and making money off of it, so if you try to do that, we're gonna demonetize your video. Unless you join our partnership program, or I guess you're whitelisted, because I feel like some YouTubers can do that and they're fine, but others can't. But anyway, yeah, if you try to record any gameplay of ours and you try to make money off of it, sorry, we're taking your video down, copyright strike. And hey, here's the YouTube partnership program that we have, where we literally pay you cents on the dollar. Like, I think there's a video somewhere of a person like doing their the Nintendo YouTube partnership program or whatever, and they made like 3 cents from the YouTube partnership program. So it's so Nintendo isn't exactly pro-consumer, neither is Microsoft, and I don't think anyone is gonna be like, are saying that like, oh yeah, these guys are super pro-consumer. The reason they're allowing crossplay, I feel like, is because they have to. Like, Nintendo just got off of the cuffs of the Wii U, and it didn't sell that well. So they're trying. So I feel like this generation, Nintendo is pulling out all the stops. They're doing stuff I've never seen them do. They're releasing steady streams of games. They're announcing games early to get you hyped for them. They have tons of demos on the eShop for you to download. Like, they're pulling out all the stops. They're doing all these partnerships. Bethesda, other companies I'm having problems naming right now, but yeah, they're pulling out all the stops this generation. And Nintendo, I feel like that's the reason why they're allowing crossplay. If they were in first place, I don't know if Nintendo would allow cross-play either. Microsoft, if they weren't like selling half the units of the PlayStation 4, I don't know if if Microsoft was in first place and by a long shot, like by, you know, basically the closest competitor has only sold half the units. I don't know if they would do cross-play either. Like, I think the reason Nintendo and the Microsoft are really trying to play ball here is to try to convince people to get their console over the other ones. Like Nintendo's Switch, it's underpowered, you know, it's not going to perform. It doesn't have the capacity to play a lot of the games that the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One can play. This is why they're playing ball. Microsoft is trying to just, you know, stay in the game. The PlayStation 4 has kind of dominated the Xbox as far as exclusives. I don't have Xbox One or play at PS4, so be sure to kind of let me know. But from what I've heard and from what I've read, and just from what I've seen of the releases, the PlayStation 4 is the one that has the exclusives over the Xbox One. So, not to say that Xbox One has no exclusives, just saying in general, the PlayStation 4 is kind of winning out. Oh, someone just like honked their horn. And yeah, me personally, I believe the reason that this is happening is because these guys are trailing so far behind. Like Nintendo, I feel like they have to try to earn the consumer's trust because there's a lot of trust that was lost between the Wii. Well, really, I think it's been a long time coming for Nintendo because trust has just been slow. Like, people love Nintendo's IPs. Nintendo can function off just their IPs. They can sell consoles off just their IPs alone. Like, Nintendo is very powerful. I think they have the strongest IPs out of any, and I don't think I'm wrong by saying this, they have the strongest IPs out of any gaming company. Like, their IPs are just that strong. But you know, we had the Nintendo 64, which didn't get the games that it was supposed to because they only had cartridges. We had the GameCube, which had those weird disc things, so they didn't get the games that it was supposed to. Then we had the Wii, and even though it sold, you know, extraordinary, it didn't get the games that it was really supposed to, like third-party wise, because it was underpowered. And I'm not saying that these consoles didn't have games. The Nintendo 64 was one of my favorite consoles of all time, but it probably could have gotten even more games if they did discs instead of cartridges. But hey, that was a long time ago. Whatever. And the Wii U, I think, was just like the straw that broke the camel's back, where people just was like, okay, we're done. We're not buying this. And now Nintendo is trying to recover from that, and that's why they're doing this. And Microsoft, again, you know, they're trailing behind by like half the units. So they're like, yeah, let's kind of do this. I think that's why they're doing the crossplay right now. I think if either of those companies was in first place, I don't think they would allow crossplay either. This is just my opinion, though. Be sure to tell me I'm wrong in the comments. But I've seen some anti-consumerism from both those companies numerous times in the past. I think the reason that they're doing this is just because, hey, they want to give their gamers something that the PlayStation 4 doesn't have to move more units. Especially with I do think Sony is wrong for the Fortnite thing, though. Like that, like even if you're in first place, like, man, that's just cocky. Like, to stop people from accessing their accounts on different platforms because they played once on the PlayStation is ridiculous. I don't know if Nintendo or Microsoft would go that far. But yeah, that's like really pushing it. But yeah, I want to kind of open up oh wow, yeah, sorry, I just got a call, so I'm gonna go. But yeah, I want to kind of open up a discussion here. Tell me what you guys think about this whole thing. Let me know, and yeah, I'll be seeing you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.